boy, does it feel great to be alive on a Friday evening on YouTube as a diehard, passionate Chicago Cubbies baseball fan, or what? What's up, Chicago Cub YouTube Nation? Hope all you guys are having a awesome Friday. Woo, woo. Happy Friday, guys. I hope you guys are ready for the weekend, and I hope you guys are ready for another episode of Cubs Baseball with Ry Knibe. So welcome back to the channel, y'all, of Cubs Baseball with Ry Knibe on YouTube. All right, first and foremost, happy birthday. Shout out to Chicago Cub left-handed pitcher Justin Steele. Well, guys, we have breaking news regarding the Chicago Cubs future game tomorrow. As you guys know, the 2025 futures game is tomorrow from Atlanta, Georgia at Truist Park, and there was scheduled to be two representations in that game from the Chicago Cubs organization, and not anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news: Chicago Cub pitcher Jackson Wiggins has been removed from the National League Futures game roster. So Chicago Cub prospect Jackson Wiggins will not be participating in the futures game tomorrow afternoon, guys. And that comes right out of minor league baseball and the Chicago Cub organization. Okay, with that breaking news out of the way, it is time to talk about some Friday night Chicago Cub baseball. It is a new day and a new opponent as the Chicago Cubs were in the Bronx for game one of a three-game series against the Bronx Bombers, the New York Yankees. And before we get into the game, I don't know if you guys realized it, but Ian Happ, not in tonight's game one lineup. In a matter of fact, the leadoff hitter tonight for the Chicago Cubbies was none other than Nico Hoerner, and they were facing a tough task on the mound tonight. The New York Yankees went with the left-hander Carlos Rondon, and it actually turned out to be a really rough night at Yankee Stadium tonight for the Chicago Cubs, guys, and we're going to get to that in just a little bit, because there was a former Chicago Cub in the Yankees lineup tonight, our very old buddy Cody Bellinger. And Cody Bellinger had a good game one tonight, but not for the Cubbies, but for the Yankees. You want to talk about the Bronx Bombers as a New York Yankee, you got to refer to none other than Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger had a two-homer night tonight against the Cubs, against his former team. And in a matter of fact, guys, if there was an MVP for the Yankees tonight that was not named Carlos Rondon, it would be Cody Bellinger. Two-homer night for our good old buddy. So there were two belly bombs hit in the Bronx tonight, but it was for the Bronx Bombers, the New York Yankees. Again, guys, former Chicago Cub Cody Bellinger getting two home runs tonight for the Bronx Bombers, guys. And like I said right at the beginning of the episode, it was a rough game for the Chicago Cubs, guys. They would not be able to win game one, and they got absolutely dominated by Carlos Rondon and the New York Yankees. But if you want to know what else happened tonight, there was some good defense by the Chicago Cubs, particularly Kyle Tucker, because Kyle Tucker took away a home run from none other than Cody Bellinger, guys. It was in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bellinger would lead off the bottom of the 7th, and he would be inches away from a 3 home run night. But Kyle Tucker, nana, does not say, nana, not tonight. He robs Cody Bellinger, but despite robbing our buddy Cody Bellinger of a 3 home run night, it was nothing but all Yankees baseball tonight. They win game 1 of a 3-game series, guys. And like I said, guys, a very rough night in game 1 on a Friday night at Yankee Stadium for the Cubbies. But it was a great Friday night if you weren't a Yankee fan, guys. And again, Carlos Rodon was just pure dominant tonight against the Chicago Cubbies. But again, guys, the former Chicago Cub Cody Bellinger, 2 Cody Belly bombs against the Cubbies tonight. But really, guys, what was really interesting about tonight's game number 1 of a 3-game series is really that there was no Ian Happ in the lineup. And Ian Happ is not on the IL, which is good news. It was more of a mental day off. Really, when I saw that, I didn't believe it at first. I really thought that someone was pulling my leg, telling me a joke and all that. But it really turned out to be that there was no Ian Happ in the lineup. And you know what? You can give Ian Happ a day off. You can change the lineup a little bit. It didn't make a difference. The Cubbies still went out and they got slaughtered by the New York Yankees. Really, a lot of Chicago Cub fans were criticizing, number one, that Michael Busch was batting 8th in the lineup. Usually Michael Busch, does not face left-handed pitching. Well, that, did not happen tonight. Michael Busch would be batting 8th at first base. But really, I want to hear what you guys thought of the Chicago Cubs Friday night lineup. If you guys want me to read it to you, here was the starting lineup for game 1 for the Cubbies. Leading off at second base, Nico Hoerner. Batting second in right field, Kyle Tucker. Batting third in left field, Seiya Suzuki. Batting fourth and catching, Carson Kelly. Batting fifth in center field, PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong. Batting sixth at shortstop, Dansby Swanson. Batting seventh, DHing, Justin Turner. Batting eighth at first base, Michael Busch. Batting ninth, the former Yankee, John Birdie. And then Chris Flexen was tonight's starting pitcher for the Cubs. Again, you guys already knew the lineup, but I want to know really what you guys thought of the Game 1 Friday night starting lineup by the Cubbies. I know a lot of Cub fans did not like it, and they criticized Craig Counsell before tonight's game. So I really want to hear what you guys have to say about it and all that. So definitely let me know down below in the comment section. But yeah, guys, again, the Futures game at Truist Park is tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern on MLB Network. It was supposed to be Owen Casey and Jackson Wiggins, and Jackson Wiggins has been removed from the NL Futures game roster. So that is the breaking news really for you guys tonight. But Owen Casey will be the only Chicago Cub representative in tomorrow's Futures game. All right, guys, I just want to remind you guys, tomorrow, Futures game, 4 p.m. Eastern on MLB Network. But again, guys, it will be 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, game 2 of a 3-game series between the Cubbies and the Yankees. It will be Matthew Boyd going for the Cubs tomorrow against Max Fried. So that is the Saturday game 2 pitching matchup. So yeah, like I said, rough night for the Cubs. Tonight, they lose to the Yankees, guys. The Cubs will come back tomorrow in game 2 of a 3-game series and try to split the series 1 game apiece. Again, guys, tomorrow, Matthew Boyd, Max Fried, the starting pitching matchup.